I think it's that time. Let's get a trivia question answer. Luigi, do you have an answer for us? I want to know.
All right. So again, in 1964, Randy Gardner deprived himself of sleep for his school science project. How long did he make it without snoozing? And the answer is, drum roll, 11 days.
Oh my goodness.
I think that's pretty standard for a college student. So I'm thinking that this wasn't like an experiment. It was just kind of like, it's finals week. I need a final project. I'm going to see how long I can go without sleep. Yeah, let's go with that. And then he just studied for finals the entire time. And that's what happened.
Must be.
I think that's what happened. I'm pretty sure.
11 days is a lot of time to not sleep. That is incredible.
Yeah.
I have gone close to 3 days in my heyday, but I can't imagine. I was dead by the end of that.
I know somebody who was suffering from insomnia, and he was awake for about that much time. And it's really funny when you think of the symptoms, you think of like, well, what does that do to a person? The symptoms are so interesting. If you don't sleep, you start getting paranoid, you slur your words, and you have trouble forming sentences. I've actually heard it at some point, it doesn't say this here, but I've heard at one point that being sleep deprived by 24 hours is enough, you're impaired enough that you would fail a sobriety test, a field sobriety test, not a breathalyzer, but a field sobriety test, where you stand on one foot. And so yeah, because it interferes with your balance, your coordination, decision making, everything.
I looked up, WebMD says that fatigue is the cause of 100,000 auto crashes every year and 1,500 deaths.
Well, and that's the other thing is that, so when we are sleep deprived, what that can cause is what's called microsleeps, which are kind of these brief unintentional episodes where you're kind of like, your eyes may be open, but you're doing, have you seen, I've seen students do this, where the head bob, where you're kind of falling asleep and then just not even realize that you're asleep.
Have you guys had that while driving?
Well,
I have.
Yes, isn't that scary?
Working
It's
insurance,
very
we would go so long without sleep because it's commission, so you're constantly going, that every once in a while you'd be driving for a few hours, and then all of a sudden, you'd kind of like...
Head bob.
And then you'd realize that you're in a vehicle moving at like 70 miles an hour, and then you're kind of like, that was terrifying. I don't need that.
Right.
It's not a fun experience.
And
sleep.
Exactly.
So if you're this sleep deprived, those microsleeps can actually happen when your eyes are open, and you might not even realize that you're doing it, which is kind of scary. So if you are sleep deprived, don't try operating any heavy machinery like a car or just anything that could be dangerous like that.
I had an uncle who would drive. He had to do a lot of driving for his work, and he would drive with this little device attached to his ear, and anytime his head was not level, like if it would fall down, it would beep into his ear really loudly. Which at the time I thought, oh, what a genius invention, but now I feel like if you're getting to the point where you need a beep in your ear, you should just be sleeping.
Right. You should probably just take a break.
Yeah.
But really interesting. I don't know, sleeping, to me, it's such an interesting concept because we think we're in control of our sleep, and we're really not.
And
we
also
have
really
some
interesting.
degree of where we can set up conditions to help us do that more, but we're really not in control of it.
And it's also really great, in my opinion, to think about, you think about this like through the eyes of evolution, and it's like, you're constantly going, you're constantly moving to survive, and then your brain, for some reason, at some point it was like, you need to just pass out for 8 hours, have absolutely no control or really conscious awareness of what's going on, because you need that. And it's kind of really interesting to sort of think about. That's something
bizarre
that's something that we need, to the point that we were risking not being able to defend ourselves as actively just to do.
And it has a lot to do with, you're consolidating all of that information that your brain has processed throughout the day. It has a chance to actually kind of store it in a sense whenever you're sleeping. And that's part of what dreaming is too. And gosh, I could talk about this forever. It was my favorite class in college, learning about sleep.
Did you guys ever get to take naps in that class?
No way. There was too much information.
Advanced
Wouldn't work. Ugh.
Napping 101.
Majored in napping.
Would be nice, but
That'd be a sweet one.
really, really interesting. So learn more about sleep if you do get a chance, because it's pretty cool. But I did actually, maybe I can tell you one more thing. I'll tell you one more thing that's really interesting.
Tell us one more thing.
It's about dreams. So a lot of times people will say, oh, I don't dream. I don't dream. But really, that's not true. Everybody dreams. That's how we process our thoughts. But we're really, it's that 60% of people don't remember their dreams. So it's just that you're not remembering your dreams if you think you don't dream.
I hear that keeping a dream journal.
Subscribe! Come on, push the button.
You know you want to.
Do it.